What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Mic with Michael Flix. I'm very, very happy to be back. I got my man
Sawsun, correct.
From Sneaks Clothing right here in San Diego. Pleasure to have you, bro. Appreciate you joining me on the show, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. What you been up to?
Yeah, so I was just telling you off camera just now a bit, but I finished up my MBA at SDSU recently, which I'm excited about.
Congratulations.
So cool. Appreciate it. So now that I'm moving past that, some of the big things we have going on is our 5th annual Sneaks Summer Classic, which is our basketball tournament. So we're gonna have that this July, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about. And then also with the clothing brand, Sneaks clothing brand, still going strong there and looking forward to having a little more time to really put together on the drops. The last collection we put out was our best thing that I've done yet, and I was proud of that. So looking forward to keep building there. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me.
That's what's up, man. Got a lot going on. That's dope. We definitely gonna get into all of it. Definitely gonna get into all of it. You say you just finishing up at SDSU.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm sure you watched the game.
Yeah.
Did you get to watch the whole tournament or just the?
I didn't watch the whole tournament, but I definitely caught those last few games, man. We went to Viejas on Saturday and Monday. The Saturday was cool. It was smooth. Like it was live in there for sure, but it was still chill. Like it was families and stuff. And then we went back on Monday, and we brought some more people, and we were just like not ready for what happened. It was, I don't know if, I'm sure you saw some of the videos and stuff, but it was just crazy out there. Like people
running through the
fence and all that. So it was definitely fun, but it was just wild. I wasn't expecting it, but yeah, it was fun. So we watched the games at Viejas, and man, yeah, they killed it. I thought they did an awesome job of just like staying fighting even through their droughts and stuff. So yeah, definitely like super proud of them. And I guess, you know, through my school experience, I was like, I didn't have the best experience at SDSU, so I don't like particularly love the school that much. Like for me, I went to UCSB undergrad, and I always identify more as like UCSB than SDSU. Like I'm more fond of that, but the players in the basketball program gave me something to be proud of and like feel that SDSU pride. So they killed it. And
Absolutely.
Like definitely, yeah, like a legendary run for the city.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That's dope. That's dope. That's cool that you, I'm sure a lot of people have, but that's dope that you were able to go to both schools, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Are you from here in San Diego?
Yeah, I'm from San Diego.
Okay, what high school did you go to?
I went to La Jolla.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was an easy transition for you to go to...
yeah, it was real. Santa Barbara was so similar to San Diego, like... really, I feel like as close as you could get to San Diego outside of San Diego. So it was a little different, which was cool, but definitely like very similar, I would say.
Hey,
yeah.
You enjoy your college experience?
Yeah, I loved it. It was great. Yeah, Santa Barbara was awesome. I don't know if you're familiar, like anyone who's watching is familiar, but at UCSB, the surrounding community where all the kids live and like it's attached to the campus pretty much and all that, it's called Isla Vista. And it's pretty much just like a square mile of all college kids. So it's like a Disneyland college experience. It's not like a real place. It's just all college kids. So it's a great time. And yeah, I love the school over there. And yeah, it was a great experience.
That's cool. That's cool. Did you play any basketball in high school?
Yeah, I played
I'm assuming you're big into basketball with Sneaks and everything that you do.
I love playing basketball. That's like my favorite thing. Yeah, I did play some in high school. Also, when I went to Santa Barbara later on in my time, I tried to make it onto the team, and I almost got there. Like had a talk with the coach or and you know things like that, but it never happened. But yeah, I really love basketball. I was all right in high school, and I think when I went to Santa Barbara, I started playing up there at the rec a lot, like every day, just because it's what I love to do, and I got I think like way better up in my time over there.
Hey,
yeah.
Being that you say you almost make the team, but weren't quite able to do it. Do you have that feeling in the back of your head, like, man, I was right there. If I could have done one or two things different. I have a reason why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, because I love basketball and it's always been like dream of mine to play, but I didn't ever come into college thinking I was gonna play or anything. The reason why I even did it was, man, I was like really, really hooping at the rec center, and there was a dude I know up there, Logan. He played on the team, and he was about to be graduating, and you know, some of the, especially like the older guys, the younger guys are trying to stay healthy and shit, but the older guys, they're on their way out, season over, so they would just be coming through to the rec and hooping, and I play with him a lot. And he's the one who put it in my head at the end of my junior year. He was like, oh, you should go and like try to see if you can make the team. So I never thought about it before that, but then after that point, so like from the end of junior year up until senior year, I was like really working hard at it, like really taking it serious. I had like no body fat on me. I was eating like just chicken and greens and like getting shots up every day and doing my best to work out and all that. So So that's why I say yes and no, is because, like, mostly no, because I did my thing in that run, and I really put like a legit effort that I could be proud of in it. I think I did a good job. Like, I was bugging them, and maybe I could have went away about like certain things differently, but I was really doing my thing, preparing and trying my best to make it. And talking to the coach, and I remember Gabe Vincent. He was our best player. He plays for the Miami Heat now in the NBA, but he got hurt, which was horrible, of course. But I knew they were down a guard, so I hit the coach up, and he's probably panicking because they might just need to fill some spots. So, like, during that time, I ended up, like, he called my phone, and I was tripping out. I remember I got the phone call, and I had just had some, like, little beef with our neighbors. I got off the phone, and I was like, I got to make everything in the world right now, like, good karma. So I ran over there. I was like, hey, my bad. But, like, I was hyped. But it ended up not ever becoming anything. But, like, yeah, I think I made a good effort, and I was proud of, like, the effort I made. So no regret.
That's dope. That's dope. I asked because I had regret. And it was junior college actually, but I had regret because when I lived in LA, I went to Cerritos College, and they had a really good basketball team at the time. Yeah. And same thing, like, I've been a hooper all my life, but I was out there, like, I was doing music at the time. So I was out there, like, studying, like, radio and music.
Okay, cool.
But I took the basketball class just to stay in shape, because I would hoop like 3 or 4 times a week before I moved to LA. I'm gonna sign up for the basketball class just to stay in shape.
Yeah.
One of the assistant coaches was the teacher for the basketball game.
Okay.
And I'm playing, I'm doing my thing. I never forget, bro. I got on a fast break, and it was like the only other, like, actual basketball player that was in the class. It was me and him, and everyone else was kind of just in there, just hanging out, doing their thing. Yeah. But we were on opposite teams, and I had him on a fast break, and I spun off him, and I, like, laid it with the left, and the whole class, ooh. Right? And after the game, my team ended up losing. I'm gonna keep it funky. My team ended up losing. Then afterwards, the coach came over to me. He's like, hey, man, what's your name? Yeah. I go, I'm Mike. He's like, we got tryouts. And I knew they were trying out, but I'm like, I had no plans on trying out. Yeah. And actually, the first day of tryouts, the day before that, I went just to watch. Like, I was just killing time waiting for my bus. I just went to the gym just to watch tryouts. And the next day, this all happens in the morning in my class. The coach is like, hey, man, we got tryouts. I'm like, yeah, I was just watching yesterday. He's like, you just watching? You're not going to try out? I'm like, nah, I didn't really plan to. He's like, I think you should try out, bro. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I went out for the team. And I didn't know at the time, but they were in, like, a transition period where he wasn't the head coach. This was an assistant coach that I was talking to. Okay. And the head coach was on the way out, but he was not really running the tryouts, but he was there for everything. The guy that I spoke to was really running the tryouts. I ended up making the team, but right when they finished that little section or whatever was going on with those tryouts, the new coach came in and started tryouts all over.
It's a totally different program.
And so I had to try out for him now, and he wasn't rocking with me. So he was like, nah, get out of here. But I was like, and Cerritos was really, this was 2009, and Cerritos was really good at the time. So the fact that I was, like, right there on the door, like, almost on the team, I want to say for a good 5 years, I was like, man, I should try out for Palomar, one of these schools around here. I should try it, you know what I mean? But I never did. And it eventually went away. Those what-ifs went away, but for a long time it was there.
Yeah, I hear you. That's funny, because now that I think about it, I forget exactly how the years stacked up, but I remember the coach I was talking to was Bob Williams, I think his name was. That's the one who called me. And then I forget if it was my senior year or maybe the year after, probably my senior year. Joe Pasternak from Arizona, who's their coach now, he came in, and I remember, like, my boy Paulo Cruz, he walked on to Arizona, so he knew him. So I was like, oh, talk to him, like, whatever. But that's interesting. Like, I had, like, experienced one of those too. But yeah, there's definitely, like, always politics with the coach switching and whatnot.
For sure, you see it all the time. One of the best players in. No, I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna get into that. I can go on and on about that. So you are what did you study in college?
In undergrad, I came in as economics, and it was really tough at Santa Barbara. Like, it was a great major over there, and I didn't come in ready to, like, do what I needed to do. So I ended up doing communications and psychology, and then I graduated with psychology. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Were you always like really into fashion or really into, like, designing your own clothes? At what point did you start getting into? Like...
No, I haven't always been. To answer your question. I've always been into basketball and love basketball, and, like, from that, everything comes. So first, of course, basketball. That was a big reason. Growing up, my dad was a Lakers fan, so grew up off Kobe and Shaq and really loved Kobe. So basketball was my first love, and then from basketball came the shoes. So Jordans, Kobe's. I remember some of those like Hirachis and some of his early, even before he had signature shoes, really. But some of those early like Nikes he was wearing, that was like the first time I started loving shoes. And I remember my dad got us some Jordans for Christmas, and I don't remember what they were. They were like some random Jordans that I wouldn't like now, like they're not numbered, they're not like the ones, but I loved them back then, like I still love them. So that was like my start with sneakers, and then from that down the line.
And this was around what age when you got your first pair of J's?
Probably like elementary school time.
Okay.
I really love basketball. I'll go to school every day, wear a jersey, like Kobe jersey. I had a T-Mac Rockets jersey. I love T-Mac. That was like my second favorite player. But yeah, I really loved basketball, and then later down the line, the sneakers was early too, and then down the line, like pretty much in high school, I started liking streetwear. I remember I got into Stussy and the Hundreds and Diamond, and that was like my first dip into streetwear and fashion, I guess you could call it. So I like found a love for streetwear at that point. And then that kind of remained the thing. Now that I think back about it, like my friend and I, we had sketched out T-shirts and like had some meetings with some people like our parents knew, but it was never, we didn't have nothing there, but like it was something that, we kind of spent a little bit of time on. But yeah, down the line, I always felt entrepreneurially inclined. Like I want to do my own thing always. That's just kind of how I've always thought. But when I came back from college, I just had a bunch of shoes, and I wanted to start something, so I started like an online marketplace on Instagram for the shoes called San Diego Sneaks, and the page got a little traction. And then the first summer after we did that, me and my friend Tyson Youngs, who we went to high school together with, we both had the same idea of wanting to start a basketball tournament. He was living in New York, and he had just come back, and he was like, I think just excited about like the basketball he had out there and stuff like that. And also this rec center we grew up playing at, it has kind of died off since we went away for college. So we both had this idea to have the tournament and kind of, bring some energy to basketball in the local rec that we grew up like learning to play and meeting people. That's like where we made all our connections. So we did that tournament the first summer after I like started my business, San Diego Sneaks.
And what summer was that?
What's that?
What summer was that?
That was, so I started San Diego Sneaks in 2017, and then the summer after that was 2018. So that was the first year that we did the tournament. So yeah, we built up for the tournament, did it. It was a great success, and I downloaded a Photoshop trial and just made slapped some stuff together for a t-shirt for like all the participating players. And I didn't really think nothing of it. But then the tournament happened, and friends and family wanted to buy the shirt as well. So I took orders and did a run of those shirts. And in my head, that's like the start of what would become Sneaks clothing brand. So like 2018, the tournament started and the brand was born. And I guess that I ended up like taking a whole dive through like a lot of the path from like how I got to what I'm doing. But back to the original question, basketball was definitely the first love, and then all these things came from basketball. I think like the main thing is that basketball is like my biggest love, and pretty much like most things in my life have come from that. So I'm like, yeah, I love basketball for sure.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up. And you said it really started with the tournament and designing shirts for the tournament. So this is the fifth year. What's the official name of the tournament?
Sneaks Summer Classic now. The first couple years it was the San Diego Sneaks Summer Classic, and the brand was called San Diego Sneaks. But I like rebranded a little bit as Sneaks clothing brand, and then also just for a shorter, more palatable name, we shortened it to Sneaks Summer Classic. So yeah, the tournament is Sneaks Summer Classic now.
Nice. Talk to me about the tournament.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's especially right now I'm getting into like tournament prep. So I'm excited about it right now, especially for year 5. This is like, to me, a milestone. I'm very proud of getting it to year 5. So about the tournament, man, first and foremost, it's focused on, bringing the best players we could bring to the rec center where we grew up playing. So great players from San Diego and beyond, a lot of college, ex-pro. Lance Moore from the New Orleans Saints, a Super Bowl champion, he played in it last year. AJ Preller, GM of the San Diego Padres, he played in it a few years back and won a couple years, and I think he's going to be back this year. So we have some good players, and like I said, a lot of all the homies, a lot of them went to school to play somewhere, and some even ended up like doing some pro. So we have those guys coming through too, but a lot of good talent out there. So that's like first and foremost is the basketball competition. But as the years have progressed, every year we've taken notes on things that we can improve on and other things to add to it. And we've added a lot of things like on-site vendors for food, ice cream, like coffee, tea, smoothies. We have those things on site. We have live entertainment. So last year, our friend Jack Reddy, he moved to New York, but he's a great artist. He came and did like a live mural on site. We have live DJs. Some of our friends are like notable DJs, and they play gigs at like Park and some of the clubs downtown. They came and DJ'd for us. The whole community comes out. It's really like, I pretty much tell everyone that even if you don't care about basketball, it's like a fun event for the whole community. Like really the community comes out, everyone comes, hangs out. It's like a good time to catch up, see people, meet people. I've like met and known a few girls who've like told me like that they met a certain someone at the tournament and like seen them later that weekend, and they end up like getting together and whatnot. So it's like really just and we even have like local sponsors and stuff now too. So even adding that whole section of it, and not to mention a bunch of the improvements we want to make this year in terms of making it like just even more of a cool spot to hang out. But it's really like more than, it's focused on the hoops, but more than hoops, it's really a whole community event. And I think, like a driving purpose behind it is to highlight people out here doing their thing, local entrepreneurialism, and if that's a word, and yeah, the community, and bringing the community together, and like our love for the game of basketball, and like that's connected us to so many people, and we're pretty much just like the tournament is a vehicle to hopefully do that the same for other people.
That's dope, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's what's up. That's dope. Oh, the question just left me that quick. No. So with the tournament, do all age groups play against each other? Is it like high school age versus high school, or like how do you?
Yeah.
How do you
So as of right now, it's one field, and everyone's mixed in with each other. We've had younger guys, we've had older guys, we've had even females have played in it before. A friend of mine, Tulsa Hart, I didn't even know she was going to be playing in it. When I was at Santa Barbara, I did some like scout team for the women's team. So she played up there. I knew her from there. And in the third year we had it, she just happened, like I didn't even know she was coming through, and she came and played. So that was the first women we had in the tournament. But I say that to say like everyone's mixed in with each other. Usually it's college age to like middle-aged guys, males all playing against each other. But it's really open to everyone. I think the main thing is just like, can you hoop? It's definitely, especially like in the first years, some of the homies would come through and fill some spots, but like as time goes on, I'll tell people about the tournament and they'll be like, oh, I want to play. And honestly, like I tell them like, it's really good players out there.
Right.
Like, unless if you're like really ready to play, like it's better for you to just come and enjoy it. So the level has got pretty good, and yes, it's all age groups pretty much competing with each other. The main thing is if you can play. And also on top of that, we kind of look for good character too. We want to like have a good environment and not have any BS. So like that's also something we consider when picking teams. But like in terms of like the merit of the players, it's really just that, the merit of the players. And if you're old, young, female, male, whatever, like if you could hoop, you could hoop. Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah.
I commend you, man, going into a fifth year putting together something like that.
Thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome. I just, did the Flix vs. Full-Time Showcase for the first time, and I had a lot of help from, a couple friends of mine, but it was a lot to put an event together. You know what I mean? And I can only imagine like what it to continue to grow it and make it to a fifth year. Takes a lot, man. So once again, props to you for
sure. I appreciate it. And yeah, man, like you said, it is a lot. And even like something that I want to say, as you say, that is, I started with my buddy Tyson. So, having someone to be able to work with and grow it together, if I'm feeling a bit like not up to it, or he is, or whatever, we're like, I have him there to pick me up, and I've had someone to build it with. So like definitely don't want to, I definitely want to like take the chance to also, say shout out to him too. But yeah, man, it's excuse me, it's a lot of work, and yeah, I commend you on you too doing
Thank
your
you, man.
thing. I even want to hear a little more about it too, but I know we were talking about it a little bit, and I think just the respect for like putting something together and trying to create a vision you have, like definitely respect that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It was definitely more work than I thought to put it together, but I'm definitely up for it. Definitely going to bring it back next year and every other year after people want it,
cool.
if people still want it for sure. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. Great turnout. You know, it was the biggest thing really for me was that the kids that for whatever reason or another had to cancel and I had to replace them with someone else.
Yeah.
Saw that pretty much like every morning waking up with a kid or two, like, hey, I'm sorry I can't make it, and like figuring out like who's gonna replace them and you know, doing all that. But yeah, everything went as smooth as it can go.
Good.
Everything went as smooth
Those
as it
are
can
things too. I feel like as you continue putting out a good product like that, that's gonna diminish and people are gonna be like wanting to be a part of it. I know for us, thinking back to the first year, like we had to fill some team. We had 12 teams only, and we had to fill teams with like homies and some people who really couldn't play. Like, sure, there was good talent, but like there was a few teams that was really just the homies, like kind of supporting us and picking up a spot. But now it's like we opened up an inquiry form for the first time last year, and we had like triple, quadruple, 5 times the number of people inquiring that we could fill in. So that's was just like a testament to like the work we put in, and the product speaks for itself. But I just say that to say, like, when you stack like 1, 2, 3 and you do a good job of getting the like right people who should be there, which I think you did from what I saw, like that's gonna build, and like people are gonna want to be wanting to participate. So no, that's awesome.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I definitely want to give you the opportunity to talk about, you know, the clothing brand and help you get, you know, shed some light on that. But I definitely got some questions about it too, because I've been into, not heavily, but I've been into fashion most of my life. And just here recently, like I'm gonna continue to do it. I don't want this to sound like I'm gonna continue to do it. Like I got on a couple local brands now. Yeah. I'm gonna continue to do it. But I'd like to have my own clothing brand.
Man, that's crazy.
And I've wanted to do it for like, I want to say 2 years now. But every time I think like, oh, this would be a good idea, and we're like, someone has that idea already. Or I'll like something and I'll sit on the idea for a little bit longer and be like, I don't really like that anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, I have like ideas of like garments and things that I want to design, but more or less just like a name and a vision and a mission for the brand.
I feel that. I mean? That's funny. I got a few things from what you said. First off, like, I think you definitely should. That's crazy. I was thinking when I was like getting ready for this that like, because I was thinking you're always rocking a hat, and I was just thinking, what a good chance. I feel like hats are such like almost the biggest way to like brand yourself. I always look at Chance with the 3 hat and how like, iconic that became, and like Jay-Z with the New York hat, and you know, the list goes on, but I always feel like the dome piece is really like, sometimes something else might catch the attention first, but a hat is a very like prominent way to, you know, and I love rocking this every day because like, you know, even if it's low key and not like that loud, like I'm telling people like who I am and what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And, you know, maybe they'll catch on, maybe they won't, but at least I'm, you know, like I have that opportunity. So I was thinking, that'd be awesome for you, because I was bringing you a hat, and I was just thinking like, man, he should make his own hats because he's always on the show. But I think like to touch on that, you should do it, and like ideas you have, like all of them might not be hitters, but you just put them out, and like I don't think you ever regret acting on a idea. So also with the thing about you know, like you see some of the other ideas out there, that's funny. I actually had something recently with this, is my last collection. I called it, I'm actually like very proud of it, where I was telling you I want to talk about my collection a little bit, but I called it the From SD with Love collection, because so the collection first came about with this design. I made this design and I loved it, but I was just sitting on it, and then when I went, this is gonna be like a kind of long response to get back to the point of like other people, like other ideas being out there and whatnot. This design, and I was just sitting on it, and I wanted to use it, and then my friend Dre Lewis, he came and hosted the Sneak Summer Classic last year. I met him there, but he's in the camp of Larry June, who's like one of my favorite artists. He's Herm Lewis's son. Okay. Uncle Herm does like the intros and stuff on the Larry albums. So he came and hosted our tournament, and he's a real cool guy. So we had a cool relationship since then. He invited me, knowing I'm a big Larry June fan. He invited me to a few shows up in the Bay in November that I would get to meet some of the people and maybe hand out some merch. So I started putting some stuff together, and I ended up using this design on a shirt, and I did that. Fast forward, I'm making the new collection, and I knew I wanted to do these jackets, and I slapped this on it, but then I was trying to find something to fill this spot. So I came up with I was always trying to, when you're designing something and you want to put some sort of statement or stuff, I always found it it's kind of, you want to have something that's relatable but not too try hard. So it's kind of interesting. But anyways, I stumbled upon the From SD with Love. I'm a big Dom Kennedy fan, From the West Side with Love. I think there was some connections there, and it just felt like the vibe to me. So this was the cornerstone piece of the new collection as it came to be, and I ended up making products around that. But back to the thing of other ideas being out there, someone messaged me a few weeks ago, and he was not happy because it turns out that he had made some hats that said SD and it said From SD with Love. And, he reached out to me oh, did you see this, X, Y, and Z? And I told him that, I was aware of his brand, because my buddy, one of my buddies had repped it before, and he'd reposted it, and I saw it. But, I'd never seen the From SD with Love, and he was, kind of angry at me, and I told him, I understand your frustration, but also, I'm sorry, I genuinely didn't know, and this is, not the most novel idea. There's movies From Paris with Love, right? And Dom Kennedy From West Side with Love. So this was just my natural iteration on that, just as I'm sure it was for you. But I told him I felt him, and I get it. And going forward, I'm probably going to try to be aware of that and not try to go crazy with it or anything. But I just say that to say there is always the possibility of that. But I feel as long as you're not infringing on someone's entire brand or something, it is what it is. It's fair play. I made a design when the whole George Floyd stuff was going on. I made a capsule for that, and I did, I believe it's the Leonardo da Vinci, right? The hands of God, the fingers touching, and I made one white hand, one black hand, and I put it on a t-shirt and a box logo. And I thought it was a cool idea. And then the skater, Nakel, he had a skate deck with 2 black fingers, and I was new doing this. I didn't know any better, and living in the clout era of seeing 6ix9ine and dumbass dudes doing stuff and getting rewarded for it. I kind of sent a little playful oh, show them who did it first, and it just ended up devolving into some crazy shit that some of my people said some foul stuff on his page that I didn't want them to be saying, and it kind of got out of hand. And he started messaging me and stuff, but he pretty much, I didn't fully understand it at the time, but later he told me, he was this isn't a novel idea, you stole it from someone, just how I stole it from you or whatever. I'm not even saying he stole it from me. We just both kind of had the same idea, but it is what it is. I feel I learned that, and people in the game know that we all are creative and all have ideas, and some shit might happen. If it happens, just be cool and brush it off and shake hands if you can and move on. But long-winded answer to say yeah, do that shit, bro.
Oh no, you don't worry about being long-winded. I like it for sure. It's as the internet makes the world smaller and smaller, and it makes everyone's city and community smaller and smaller, you see that more and more. A friend of mine sent me an Instagram account with a similar name to mine, and he's a photographer as well. And Michael is one of the most common names on the planet. So I'm not saying you know what I mean, but someone sent me that, and I saw that, and my friend's reaction was and this is before and you can just pay to get a blue check. My friend was you should try to apply to get verified.
Some good call. Yeah.
If he there's you can't prove that this guy knocked off your name, but if he did and your name is growing in the city, you should try to get verified. So I applied, and then fast forward 3 or 4 weeks later, then all you gotta do is pay, and now I don't even want a blue check.
I know, man. I was thinking of doing the same for my tournament, and now I'm just man, do I don't know.
That's a good topic we can get into. I don't. It's whack to me,
I don't like it, man. It's just
no, it's great business for Zuckerberg. He made 600 and something million in
As
one.
As a business, they're probably doing
day.
the right thing, but I feel for the creators, it not that a blue check really stamps you, but also in a certain respect, it is something, and I feel they just took that I don't want to call it a badge of honor, but it was it would be some people who have it on some random shit, but usually it means like you had to like really create a name to have it, and now it's just like, you know, you see
and
a
if
random
and
homie having it, it's just like
exactly. And see, I was having this conversation with somebody. Actually, I forget what the post was, but I was in the comments on Instagram having this conversation with someone. And they were talking about how like I forget how it started, but I was explaining to this girl like what the purpose of the blue check was for and what it like morphed into. It was for when you've become a prominent person, so everyone can know this is you. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is you. So nobody can make a parody page or do something with your name and make you look bad. Exactly, everyone knows like that's you, but it turned into I'm cooler than you if I have this. You know what I mean? And then Instagram saw that and I was like, oh, y'all want to be cool? Okay, $15 a month if you want to be cool.
Bro, I didn't even think about this till you said it. They probably made a lot of money already.
Bro, I don't know how true it is, but I seen something that they made $660 million in the first day, bro.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like,
and that's gonna be monthly money, bro. It's $15 a month.
Yeah,
that's bananas.
So it's good business for them, but I think for like the you know, like merit of some of the working creators, it's like maybe devalue it. I guess time will tell. We'll see.
And I mean, there's some people that, and especially right now, before everyone on Instagram has a blue check, there's people that are gonna grab one up now and they're gonna reap the benefits of it. Like, and not.
I'm not even mad at someone for scooping it up either. Like,
and there's people that aren't. There's a lot of people. I think the majority, like 85 to 90% of people, I'd say, are doing it for clout, just to have a blue check next to them. But there are people that are doing it for like the business
visibility benefit. Bro, I was thinking like, man, if I'm like looking at someone's story with my tournament, with my clothing brand, that blue check gives you that extra half second that they scroll back to see your name. Like, it's, you know, like it's not a bad business play, like for sure. Like I think it might be worth it to get those extra looks and, you know, maybe extra little foot in the door. So like I see the merit in it too, but yeah, I kind of gotta like I don't know about it feeling.
It's just tough because it used to be, and this is I didn't know we were gonna take this turn, but I'm down with it though. But it used to be though that like from my perspective anyway, it used to be like if you were trying to use your social media following to land you a job or to make you more money in a deal, you could show these things to them. Like, look, if you do the deal with me, I'm bringing this many followers, and it's like I got this blue check. Like this is gonna be what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's like you could have 1,000 followers and get a blue check.
Yeah.
And again, there were people like had him as a guest on the show with my family. Stephen McClure. He played in the NFL for a few years. He was a captain at Cal when he played. When he was in college, I think his freshman year in college, he got a blue check on Instagram, and he only
he's younger, like recently played.
No. What year did he graduated high school? My little brother graduated 2009, so I think he graduated 2011.
Okay.
So his freshman year in college was like 2012, 2013, I want to say.
Yeah.
And he had like 2,000 followers, and he had a blue check. But it's because of who he was. Like he was a Army, Navy, All-American. His name's all over the news, all over the paper.
He did something.
Yeah, he made a name for himself. So it's like there were certain people that like back then anyway, you would look at their page and be like, "What? He blue check 2,000? Oh, okay, this dude is lit though. Like he's the man at his campus." But now it's gotten out of hand, bro. Yeah. And I know I've been talking about it on Instagram, and a lot of people probably looking at me like, "Flix, chill out, bro. Like I'm getting me a blue check, and I don't hear nothing about it." It's kind of corny to me, bro. I can't front.
I feel the same way. I think like also there is that angle of like there is like value in the business and stuff. But I mean I kind of have the same feeling. But yeah, I mean shit, to each their own, I guess.
Yeah. I was about to say something else, but let's just let it go. What was in starting the clothing line? What was maybe some of the more difficult things, some of the more difficult hoops to jump over?
Just everything, just learning the game, and I'm still learning it, but just, you know, I didn't know anyone who's took this path, and I still really don't for the most part, so I think a lot of stuff is really learning it on your own for the first time, and like I said, I'm still learning, but I've definitely progressed in like design and stuff just through trial and error, and like everything, I guess, marketing, design, rollouts, everything, so a lot of it's trial and error, but there's a lot of things, man, like first just knowing where to get the garments, knowing how to operate and do things the right way with print shops and things like that. There was some guys that I was going to when I was still fresh in the game, and like ended up like the relationship didn't end well, but like looking back, I wish they would have been a little more nicer and classier, but also like I could see that I wasn't sending them stuff in the most organized way, in the right way. So like learning things like that, the logistics, to even now, like I'm trying to get more into custom garments, and I've made a few things like shorts and socks. I got the socks on.
Nice.
But so there's a few things I've done, but also really like learning how to get into that like custom game and hitting the minimums and all that. Those are things that I'm still learning. So like the entire game really, because it depends. That everyone might have their team, but like for me, at least right now, I'm just doing the clothing brand by myself, and I've had like some help here and there throughout the way from like homies, but really it's like full scale from production management, project management, designing the stuff, marketing the stuff, promoting myself, getting comfortable with even promoting myself. I feel like that's something that I'm just starting to like, understand that like this is my shit and I got to talk about it and like promote it. And I realize even for me, if I see something on social media once or twice, I might not like pick it up. And like, so even if it's annoying, I got to push my message because if I'm not going to do it, who's going to do it? So like even learning things like this and being comfortable with things like that, those are all like learning processes. So I don't know if there's like any one hardest thing. It's really like it's a whole game, and I'm like still fresh in it. I think I'm very proud of like how far I've come, and I have established myself and like doing some work, and I'm proud of that. But also I know like still I'm not shit, and I still got like a long way to go, and it's a lot of stuff to learn. So I would say it's not a super direct answer, but the everything, man, just learning how to do stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe. I fully agree with you, man. And although it's different for me in that we live in a content world now, mm-hmm. and I'm a content creator. Even if I don't do it for myself, people know I can do it for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a little easier for me in that I don't have like a tangible thing that I'm trying to sell to people. But I definitely hear you in that, man, as far as like, and for me, it's not, designing the clothes, but it's actually physically going out and filming the game and bringing it home and editing, and then still, other than just putting the footage together for people to like finding a creative way to do it that people will like, and then finding a way to market myself away from basketball content, which is still something I'm trying to figure out, other than just coming and doing my podcast. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel you.
Well, man. I wonder also, that's interesting. Like you talked about how you're like niched in the basketball, but I wonder even if that's a bad thing, or like maybe that might be something. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. We can talk about it, but maybe that's like something you might want to dive further into. I know for me, like.
I've been exploring that. It's something I've definitely been exploring.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because I mean, it can pigeonhole you, but it could also niche you down and really find you like your tightest following. I know for me, like I'm still going through there's different stages of my clothing brand, but I think something that's kind of clicked for me maybe in the last year or months is that basketball is my biggest love. So instead of like, starting the brand out, I kind of like I didn't necessarily have the idea fully synthesized, but it was just an expression of myself. And I'm like, I love basketball, but I grew up in La Jolla, like when I went to school in middle school and high school. So it was about like kind of the intersection of basketball with like surf, skate, and beach community, which it still is. And like those people are just as much a part of my story, just as how much I love basketball. But I realized like the essence of me, my biggest love is basketball. So I've been diving more into basketball and like, linking with the hoopers in town and stuff like that. And I find that for me, like that just feels more genuine and authentic, and I feel like it hits closer to people and resonates more because it's real, but also like it's a work in progress. So I don't know, but it's just interesting. Like there's two perspectives. One of like being able to brand yourself as more than like just one role, and then the other of like, really embodying that role and niche and like reaping the benefits of creating like a real community in there. But I don't know, it's like a good conversation and idea, because I think there's always like different like ways and balances you could go. It's been a
real interesting thing for me to navigate, bro, because like I'm loving the way this conversation is going, by the way. It's been a really interesting thing for me to navigate because I've purposely done such a good job of keeping this show and all my like basketball and sports content in one box. I don't want to say in a box, but like away from
organized
the other podcasts that I do, because I'm like, you know, I have grown-up conversations on the other shows, and sometimes I might have something in my cup on the other shows, and I might curse or speak a little differently on the other shows.
It's a different vibe.
And so I've done a good job of keeping both of those very separate, but I feel like it's been, like my other shows that aren't my sports shows, I never posted them on my Michael Flix page.
Yeah.
But I've made a concerted effort to do that because.
What, do you have pages for the shows themselves, or how do you do it?
No, like one of my podcasts does.
Okay.
But even with that though, like, and I would do that because like, all right, I want to put everything on my personal page, and I definitely don't want to put some of this stuff on the Michael Flix page where all these kids are. So I would make Instagrams though. But with those other shows, well, really just my main other podcast, the We Ain't Got It Yet podcast, I started posting those clips on the Michael Flix page, and they started doing well. And I got more eyes on the show, and I'd be downtown working, and she's like, hey bro, I saw your show on YouTube. And I'm like, see, if I would have done this a long time ago, who knows what the growth would have been. But I was so worried about, like, bro, like a lot of my audience is high school kids and their parents. So it's like, it's a fine line, you know what I mean?
It's shaky. And I've like, this is something I still think about and I'm figuring out to this day, is the same thing you're talking about, is like, there's a line out there, and I'm still trying to find it, and you probably are too, but of just knowing your audience and catering to them versus giving like the real raw you, which is what people really connect to. But it's tricky because you got different brands and different images and different audiences. But like, yeah, it's an interesting thing to like navigate exactly how to go about it.
The thing that makes me feel like I've done it the right way is that I've given the sports world and audience like that I've built up, I've given them enough years of me authentically, even though they haven't really seen this stuff. Even like if they go searching for it, they find it, of course. It's all on the same YouTube channel. So if they want to see it, they can. But I've given them enough, and they've been able to see me like in person at the games, like speaking to the kids, speaking to the parents, booking different things with coaches and ADs. And so I've given them enough years of like, Flix is a good dude. He's a genuine guy. He's a stand-up guy. He has great intentions. He loves the kids. He's a good guy. So then when they do see my other shows and other podcasts, they're like, they already know I'm a good guy. They're like, this is just him being an adult. This is just him being an adult. This is just him being himself. This is just him diving into his broadcast. You know what I mean? So I feel like if I would have showed them both so soon, like
it might have been a bad reaction.
This is the kid that was filming my kid's game. This is the dude that was filming my kid's game. All this cussing and drinking, and you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like I've done a good job of keeping them separate, and now I can slowly
they come to understand you like as a person, and they're like able to palate that,
For sure.
I was gonna say something too, but I forget. But maybe if it comes back to me, I'll say it. But
it's all good.
I definitely feel you.
You say you're a Laker fan because of your dad?
Yeah, man. My parents both came from Iran, and my dad came here in like the late '70s, and I remember he became a fan of Magic and the Showtime Lakers, and I remember growing up, he had like the back-to-back championship tape from like '88, '89, I think it was. They beat the Pistons. It was the second year of their back-to-back, but I just grew up watching that, and I don't know what came first, Lakers or like my love for the Lakers or my love for basketball, but like either way, they definitely fueled each other. And man, just grew up watching Kobe, like tough, like love Kobe. We wear a Kobe jersey to school every day. My room, all the posters, Kobe. Not as much when I was younger, but when I got older, like when I started decorating, like going to college and having my own posters and stuff, it became like all Kobe. Like I had to like chill out, so it's not so overwhelming, but like definitely my favorite person. I was so into the Lakers, even when Derek Fisher hit that .4 shot, I ran outside and like started shooting lefty, and I thought it was good, even though that shit was ugly. I was shooting with two hands, but I thought it was tight, and I shot like the next like 2, 3, 4 years of my life like that, and I always wonder like, shoot, if he didn't hit that shot, maybe, I mean, I think I got a good shot, but I'm like, fuck, maybe I'll be Ray Allen right now. But no, I just say that to say like, yeah, love the Lakers, huge part of my life, Kobe, and like probably a bigger Kobe fan than a Lakers fan, but still a big Lakers fan.
It's funny you say that. I never thought about it
until he was gone.
Well, no, about whether if basketball fandom or Laker fandom came first.
I don't know.
I never
honestly.
gave it any thought, but for me, it was definitely Laker fandom because my dad and my uncle, like my dad's whole side of the family, really my dad and his younger brother, my Uncle Clarence, big time Laker fans.
Yeah.
And so before I really even understood what basketball was, I was watching purple and gold uniforms.
It was good years back then too.
Oh yeah. And it was first. So for me, I was a Laker fan before I became a basketball fan, but now I'm definitely I don't want to say much more, but I'm definitely more of a basketball fan than I am a Lakers fan. And it's funny, my brother and I, we have sports debates all the time, my brother and my cousins, and it's funny, like we tell people, my brother and I say, like the worst fans sometimes are the fans that are more fans of their team than they are the game.
Yeah.
Because it makes it where like you can't even really, you're not objective, you can't even objectively watch the game or have an objective debate because you're so Kobe or you're so LeBron, you can't acknowledge that he played a terrible game. You're like, no, well, his teammates, and it's like, nah, bro, the game is the game.
I fully agree, man. I love, like, at this point, I'm really a bigger fan of hoop. Like, I'm on the Lakers right now. I'm excited because, like, they have a cool run going. But, like, really, if the Lakers are putting out a shitty product, like, I'm going to still be a Lakers fan, but I'm going to enjoy watching Dame. I'm going to enjoy watching Book. I'm going to enjoy watching KD. Because, like, you know, I think probably you two are just fans of the game and, like to watch good stuff. So, yeah, I definitely agree, like, the objectivity and, like, being able to, like, sometimes I'll go and watch, when I'm on the streams watching the Lakers game, you'll catch the other team's broadcast, and sometimes it's just like, damn, it's like not even fun. It's like sucks to listen to because they're just like annoying on one side for their team. Like even if it's your guys, you know, just be real about it. Like it makes it more enjoyable.
Absolutely. So to that point, so much so that like I'll say when the Lakers suck.
Yeah.
We had all them years when you didn't recognize anyone in the starting five. I would be tweeting about it to the point where like my like new followers, the people that just met me on Twitter, like I remember so many people ask me like, bro, who's your favorite team? I'd be like, I'm a Lakers fan, bro. They'd be like, dang, you go hard on the Lakers. I'm like, yeah, because they suck.
Man, yeah.
They're my team, it's my favorite team, but I can say when they suck.
That's a lot of times when, you know, I like want to go and post some little, I don't really have Twitter too much, but I just started trying to activate Twitter for the clothing brand and tournament, so I'll just shameless plug, go follow on Twitter, Sneaks Clothing Brand or Sneaks Summer Classic, if you have that. But I don't really have Twitter, so like I always like after a game happens, I want to type some shit on the story and post it. But I'm just like, who gives a fuck? Like, but I'm just upset right now. But yeah, man, they definitely have given a lot of material to not be the most pleased about in years recent.
This has been probably the most roller coaster of a season that I can remember since I've been a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
I can't remember a season opening where it was like, yeah, we got two really good players, but we ain't really finna do nothing this year. To right now, it's like, yo, we could be in the finals. Bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think of one that's comparable just from like, I didn't really think about this, but like you talk about a jump from beginning to end. I remember there was the one year when Kobe like requested for the trades and they were booing him game one, and then he came out and like went crazy in the first game and they were chanting MVP, and then I don't know if it was that year or the next year that they got Powell, but either way I feel like that was the only time I remember there being a turn. But this shit was crazy from like 0-5, 2-10 to like now people are really scared of us. So I'm not a Laker, but you know.
Nah, it's us, man. It's us.
Yeah.
It's us.
Man, even still, they be like, they have stretches where they look great, and then there's times when like they be pissing you off. Like AD looks like he zanned out. AD looks like he doesn't want to be there. Even like LeBron is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time, and people are on him like hyping him up for the game last night. And I know he did had 37 and had a whole lot and had the game winner, which was a beautiful take. But even before then, like there's shit that pisses me off, like the turnovers, and then LeBron lazy in end of clock situations and just settle for a horrible shot. They were up like 10 or 7 and he took a horrible 3, and then they ended up coming back from 10 to tie it. And then like throughout, and then Reeves kind of hit a shot which was a big one for us. But even then, like down the stretch, a lot of times LeBron would just hold the ball and feed it to AD with 5 seconds, or take a bad shot, like a lazy shot with 3 seconds. And it's like, obviously I went on a spurt, so then my point is proven, but like it's stuff that frustrates me. But then they have a lot of cool stuff going on they have a sick team with all great players. LeBron's been playing great mostly, AD's been playing great mostly, Reeves came out of nowhere. They got all this talent around them, D'Lo, Vando. So yeah, I mean they definitely, I end up going on a tangent when I start talking about that.
That's all good.
Like, they look good, like they can make some noise.
Oh yeah.
And from the beginning, when they had nothing going on, so, yeah.
Who you got in the finals coming out the East and the West?
Okay, I think, so I thought going into it, the contenders in my mind were Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, and Phoenix with this addition of KD. You know, people you hate to like disrespect the Nuggets, but it kind of is what it is. I think like until they really show a legit win, I don't know if people take it seriously.
I agree.
I think now the Lakers, man, you got LeBron and AD. That's two. If they're on their shit, that's two elite top fives with all this talent around them.
I was about to say, and they finally built an actual team.
They could be tough, man. If they just, man, if those guys stay aggressive, Reeves stay doing what he's doing, D'Lo could hit some shots, Beasley, man, if he could hit some shots, and they could like cut the turn, like not be sloppy and you know wait on the clock to end late in games and cut out the turnovers and things like that. Man, who knows? So I think those are the ones in my mind. Celtics, Bucks, Philly Sixers, Suns and Lakers are the ones I have in mind. But shit, even the Clippers, man, like if they were to get healthy, they got a squad, but who knows what's going on over there. But it's fun, man. This year has been wide open. It's been one of the most fun years as like a fan I can remember in recent years. It's been fun to follow.
I was happy for Westbrook, man, when he went for like 30-something.
Against the Blazers, that picture of him on the
ground.
ground.
That's a hard, man. That might be the picture of the year.
I love that picture.
That picture hard.
I love Westbrook too. I
almost made it the background on my phone. That picture's so dope.
Yeah,
that picture hard for sure. If you I was about to say, dang, I had a question for you. Left me that quick. No, there it is. Favorite, your top 3 favorite sneakers.
Ooh, good question. Jordan 3s, Jordan 1s. Oh man, see, I was gonna give you 3 Jordans. I was gonna say 3s, 1s, and give you either the 4s or the 11s. But
okay, well, how about this? Give me your 3 favorite J's, and then give me 3 favorite sneaks that aren't J's.
Okay. So the Jordans are definitely up there. I think the 1s and 3s are locks, and then the third spot will go to the 4s or the 11s. And I think to all-time shoes, I could go a lot of different directions. There's like Yeezy, Red October Yeezys. Those are like a crazy grail to me, but I feel like I want to take it more like the everyday route. I love some of the shoes Tyler has done. Like my brother got me these for my birthday. These are some of his golf shoes.
Those are tough.
Thank you, bro. He had like some one-star Converse that he did with LaFleur. That was some of my favorite shoes. I think some of the Kobe's are amazing. Like I never even had Kobe 6s, but Kobe 6s are beautiful. Really, we could go with those J's.
Okay.
1s, 3s, and 4s or 11s is like my tops. Yeah.
What's your favorite, I was just talking about this on Twitter. What's your favorite, like, simple shoe?
A Vans with the wave on it is hard to beat. I didn't grow up with that being my thing, but just it's a West Coast classic, and I kind of got onto it. I forget if it was high school or college, but it's just a beautiful, classic, staple, everyday shoe you can wear, and you're going to be like cool in a variety of situations. Like it, man, my friend showed me, he went to the Kings game and he was sitting up there by the court and he showed me a picture. Mike Brown was wearing the Vans and I was shook, but it's just like, I don't know, maybe that's not the best example, but it was just funny to me and they could really work in a lot of situations. So I think Vans are great for that. I think the Chucks, I never have worn Chucks too much, but I know Chucks are great for that. And then for me, I think the 1s and the 3s, man, are like any situation tough. So those are like my favorite everydays, I would say.
Got you. You know what's funny? I never, mines are the Cortez for sure. I mean, I got a pair.
I was gonna say Cortez too. Cortez can be that. It was not that for me, but
I never wore Cortez growing up, bro. And I was like, for me, it was like that's not a sneaker that I would ever wear. A certain, I'll leave it alone. I was like, that's not a sneaker I'll ever wear. Like if I want like a nice like simple shoe, I'm gonna go with the Forces. I didn't even wear. I wore. Like the only Vans I wear now is old schools, but I used to wear the lows, like the classics, in high school. But like now I never wore Cortez until becoming an adult. Maybe even like 5 years ago, I never wore Cortez. Honestly.
I feel like it was probably like, I don't know if this is what you were gonna say, but it's definitely like more associated with like Latino community and stuff. And I like never had my first pair of Cortez until I got the Forrest Gump ones. I got them. I remember I got them in the end of senior year of college. I want to say like I finished a paper, like turned it in and rewarded myself with getting those. But yeah, I never had them growing up either. But like those are ones that I got then, and then like
for that reason, I was trying to like come up with a more like acceptable way to say it. But it was like just being young and stupid and and not really like trying to think outside the box.
Yeah.
You know, those are for Hispanic kids.
Yeah.
If I want some nice simple shoes, I'm gonna get me some Forces.
Yeah.
These are some dope shit. It's my favorite shoe now.
Yeah, I feel that. They're clean.
It's like I'll never wear those.
Super classic.
Shoe, you know?
Yeah. I had like a similar, They're not they're not like the top in my rotation or anything. Like I'm not like a Cortez head, but I had the same experience. Like I definitely like Cortez now. When as growing up, I never really thought of them as something I would wear. Yeah.
I got the Forest Gumps too. They're my favorite. I have
I love those.
Ones. The Reversity is the all black with the white check, and I got the Forest.
I don't know if you ever seen some of like I think like YG made some with the flames and stuff like that. Like there's some hard little offshoot like bootleg ones out there too. And I know like certain brands like I think Union have done like some crazy Cortez. So it's like become a palette for like people to do shit on too now.
It's interesting you say that. I don't wear them now just because they're slightly too big and they just look weird on my feet just because they're half a size too big. But at the Alpine outlets years ago, this was 2014, 15 maybe. I got some Cortez, the navy blue and white Cortez. She run like Fusion.
Oh wow, okay.
I'll send you a picture.
Roshis were huge too back then. Yeah.
I seen it and I was dying, and I went there to get a pair of Roshis.
Yeah.
They for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, they had sold out.
Yeah.
And I saw those. Like I said, they was a half a size too big, and I was like, I gotta do it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I rocked them for like a year and a half, 2 years, maybe even like 3 years. But now every time I put them on, like I've tried, even just last weekend, I put them on. I was like, I can't do it. They just a little bit too big. I'm gonna try to sell them.
Yeah, it's funny though. I know, like for me, when I was younger, man, it was one time I'm a size 10. I think it was a size 12 shoe that I put on like 3, 4. It was these, man, they were a crazy pair. I didn't know about them until I got them in like a trade, but it was these mist Jordan 4s. They're like nubuck or like suede, like very cool gray with like light blue and light yellow, like Denver Nuggets type colors. And they were so tough, and they were size 12, way too big for me. And I was like, I loved them so much that I was like, I put on all the extra socks to try to make them work. But you know, at a certain point you realize like, what the fuck am I doing wearing these? I got rid of them, but like, no, I feel it.
It's interesting how your style changes and your taste changes, and just how like your just the evolution of like your style.
Yeah, 100%.
Like even to some of the stuff I was wearing, so like maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I was, oh man.
Yeah, it's always wild looking back.
So even like go even further back, and even like looking to high school, I'd be like, man, them shirts and pants, everything was just way big, and just like
I think
it's just funny to see the evolution.
Yeah, I think most of us probably have that experience looking back and being like, oh, what was I on?
And it's funny because I've always felt like I was a fresh dude. Like I never felt like I was the freshest. I've always been a little fresher than me. I've always been like honest in that way, but I always feel like I'm doing pretty good with outfits.
Yeah.
And then you look back at them pictures and be like, bro, who let me out the house in this?
It's always rough. You go back on the old Facebook, you see like some little selfies and stuff. It's just like, oh man, but you know, it is what it is. It's all part of it.
Absolutely. Give them the info on the tournament one more time.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna look in this camera right now. So it's the Sneaks Summer Classic. It's gonna be the 5th year. We're super excited for it. It's gonna be at the La Jolla Rec Center, Saturday, July 8th. Yeah, man, great basketball, great vibes. The whole community comes out, real community event. We got great food, sponsors, DJs, entertainment, hoopers, all that. So that's gonna be really fun. We're super excited for this 5th year milestone event. I'm excited for it. So hope to see as many people there as possible. So right now we're signing up returning teams. After we sign up the returning teams, we open up the inquiries, and from there we pick based on, you know, like some of the things we talked about is like skill, and also if you're like a good person, good fit to be there and represent the tournament well. But on my Instagram at Sneaks Summer Classic, I'm going to be posting updates as I go through, and so when inquiry forms are open and all that, I will definitely be posting and letting people know, and we're going to have the inquiries open and go through those and fill out the rest of the spots from there if they're remaining. So that's really fun. Hopefully we see all of you there. Hopefully I even have you there to capture some of the content. I know that's a big thing that we want to do. Hell yeah. Happy to hear it. I know that's a big thing we want to improve on is capturing the content, because, you know, everyone could be there and enjoy it, but that only goes so far as the people who are there. So we want to be able to show that to people. So really capture the content this year. But anyways, yeah, Saturday, July 8th, Sneaks Summer Classic Year 5. Hopefully see you there. And then also for the clothing brand, at Sneaks Clothing Brand, we just put out a new collection that came out in late February, 9 new pieces. It's my best work yet and something I'm proud of, and still pushing until we get our next stuff out. So there's some pieces in there like these pants, this jacket, the hat. So some of that stuff is still out there. That's at Sneaks Clothing Brand. So those are kind of the 2 biggest things I got going on. And then beyond that, I'm doing my thing and always happy to talk or connect for people who have like, want to connect on some business with the brands I have going on, or whether it's even for my work as digital marketing or branding. So those things going on too. But the biggest things, Sneaks Summer Classic and Sneaks clothing brand. Sneaks Summer Classic is going to be Saturday, July 8th, year 5.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in and grab some clothes too, man. We got a lot of dope clothing lines here in San Diego, and Sneaks is definitely one of the top ones. I need that jacket.
I appreciate it, bro.
As soon as I'm able, I'm grabbing that jacket.
I appreciate it, bro. And also I wanted to say, well, first, I brought the pack for you. I had the pack set up for you, and I left it at home, so I'm going to need to come back and give that to you whenever I can. But also I wanted to say, likewise to you, I think it's very cool for people out here to have a platform to come share their story for people who are interested in learning it and finding out and getting deeper. So, kudos to you. I appreciate you for having that. And also, I've told to you in our communication back and forth sometimes that, I appreciate and respect the work you've done with some of your basketball content and other stuff. I've seen it from years ago to now. And I told you, I've seen the evolution, and it's great quality. And, I was telling you, it's like, it looks just like Ball is Life stuff, like great quality and all that. So thank you to you for doing what you do as well, and capturing things like that, and having this platform for people to come and share their story and express themselves, and hopefully connect with the people that's out there, and grow their following and create connections, and even just fostering this connection between people in the city doing their thing. It's all great stuff. So thank you, and yeah, it was great to be on, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Check out what you got going on, man. It's been another episode of I'm Mike with Michael Flix. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. So next time.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, man.